Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Steelheads Weekly with Darius Dominguez and Mark Freitas. Mark, how you doing this week?
Doing well, just as well as the Steelheads.
Yes,
Doing
yes, they are.
what Steelheads do, and that's winning.
Since we left off our last episode, they have not lost. They have not lost. They have been playing really well. So super exciting heading into playoffs. I mean, there's a week left in the season at this point, really. I mean, they got this weekend and then next weekend. Not even just the game on Friday, and that's the season. I think they only have 6 games left, so we're here near the end. But really exciting past week for them, man. Like, they picked up crucial points.
They must have watched our episode and played it in the locker room.
Yeah.
It's like, man, these two guys are just talking smack.
Well, the one thing that, like, yeah, I know we were like picking and choosing games they were gonna win, right? Like, kind of, it's kind of funny like that. But the one thing that stood out to me, yeah, exactly. No, it's good. Light the fire, right? One thing that stood out to me is like the Steelheads are posting these videos after like wins now in the dressing room, like when they play at home. And JR, like in front of the team, was like, you know, this is the way it's got to be the rest of the way after they beat Brantford in the school day game, right? He's like, you got to play hard like that. It's playoff type games. This is the way it's got to be the rest of the way. And I just love that. Like, I just love how he's letting it be known to the team. Like, it only gets harder. Like, this does not get easier. You're going to have to play like this. You're going to have to stick together. And it looks like they've responded, right? Like, they understand what that means and they're continuing to play. Yeah. So it's nice.
Exactly. And they're playing without Martone.
Yeah, who's out. We'll get to that.
And they were playing without someone else, too, the key player. Excuse me. I'm trying to remember who it was.
McGregor's back in the lineup now. He was out for a little while.
They're missing someone else, and I saw it on Twitter a couple days ago. But either way, they're playing desperate hockey without their best players, which is needed, and it shows.
They're doing just fine without their leading goal scorer, which is, like you said, like that tells a lot. And you know what? You know, we can get into it right now. Martone took a slash, or we assume that's what I saw, that it was the slash that's keeping him out against the Windsor Spitfires last weekend. And he will be out for a couple weeks. I think I saw maybe 3 weeks or something, or maybe less.
Yeah, so he'll probably be back for game 1.
He'll be back for game 1, and it's probably just precautionary too. I'm sure he could probably play before then, but they're playing so well that I don't know if you want to rush him back because they can still finish first, and they're playing well without him. So
yeah,
if you can keep him out, which was out of the question, by the way, last week. We were kind of like, I don't know, first seems like a long way away, and all of a sudden Brantford's not in first, and the Steelheads are like 3 points out of first. Crazy. But
literally they could win the next day. All they do is like win all their games, and
exactly, if they win out, then they're there. So Oshawa's been a surprise too, and they play Oshawa coming up here. We'll get to the preview next week too, but Oshawa's been, man, they've been good. Like,
yes, they have,
and they might win the whole conference. It's pretty crazy. But we could start with last week. Go back a little bit. The last game we didn't cover was the school day game. And we were talking about how, you know, it's always nice and hype for the kids and stuff like that. And it was nice and hype for the Steelheads too. They got off to a good start and they never looked back. It's 5-1 final.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, keep going. No. I was just agreeing with that, yeah.
Yeah, 5-1 final. And I mean, they went up 4-0 and the Bulldogs got one back, but then they get another one at the end too. And I mean, Van Volsen, we mentioned him last week. He's been great. He scores another 2 goals in this game. And he's been on fire. He's been like, I don't know what to say. He just scores. He's just been scoring, and he's playing well.
Turning into JVR.
A little bit.
Turning into prime JVR.
One guy that reminds me of JVR a little bit, just because of the way he's his play in front of the net. I'll put it that way. Is Mason Zabeski. Scores in this game as well, and he's been hot as well. He came back on the scene after his injury, and looks like he's back to 100% as well. So he's been really good. And you know, another story of this week is, you know, I thought for sure Leanders was going to get this game. And he didn't.
Yeah, I was surprised.
He didn't, and Ivan Kovic came out to play, and he came out to play all week. He's been really good.
They gave him 2 hard teams, Brantford and Ottawa.
Yeah. And these are 2 games that, like, the other team is desperate for these points as well. Like, you're in a battle with these teams. This is what I love about this time of year, especially this year, because the conference is so close. And he's proving, like, especially as a rookie goaltender, we talked about it last week too. This guy is the future, right? And no disrespect to Leanders. He's fantastic too. He's the future as well. But Ivan Kovic, like, just the way he plays as a rookie has impressed me. That's what I'm trying to say.
And it's rare to see that out of a rookie
Yes.
Goalie, because usually, they struggle in their first year, and when they play like good teams like that, they get lit up. But like he's done excellent, and it's something that the club needs, and it's something different as well.
Yeah.
He can build on to that for next year, and like I said, if he gets into a playoff game where you'll need him, at least it shows you could trust him.
Exactly, and I do still think they go at Leanders for the playoffs. Even though Ivan Kovic is
playing
well,
you
never know. Yeah, you never know. But he just got named OHL goaltender of the week this week as well. Like, he had a solid week, and like you mentioned, for rookies sometimes it doesn't pan out as perfectly as you'd like. But he's been really good, and I find, like, even with goaltenders and even players for that matter, like, sometimes in a rookie year, you see the flashes of brilliance, and if they're high end talent or whatever, and they have moments, but they are still a rookie at the end of the day, getting used to the league, right? But he does have those hiccups as well, but he's looked really good. Like, coming into next year, I'm very confident that, he's going to find his footing, like, right off the bat. He's going to pick up where he's left off so far this year and just continue to get so much better, right? Because you always see that second year kind of boost that these guys get in the OHL. So, it's exciting. He's been great.
We're going to see a different version of him next season, too.
Yeah.
I expect that.
Exactly.
So, you know what? So I'd give him... I wouldn't give him tomorrow, but I'd definitely give him Friday, and then you just kind of figure it out from there. There's 6 games left, I believe.
Yep, 6 games left. Yep.
So just kind of build it off and give him a few more starts.
Yeah, and I wonder, going into tomorrow, big game, he's hot. I wonder if he gets the Oshawa game too. Oshawa's it's a tough opponent.
Dude, well, he played well against no, I'm thinking of a different game he played in. Never mind. No, but just give him the Generals. Why not?
He's hot. Just see what happens, right? And then I would go back to Leanders on the weekend, and just kind of make sure he's ready to go for playoffs, right? But 16-year-old and handling the pressure pretty well and playing big moments and minutes and all that. So that's great for Ivan Kovic. It's nice to see too. And another thing that's cool about him, I don't know how anyone else feels, he has like a very non-stereotypical jersey number for a goalie. I just think that's cool. I don't know.
72?
Yeah. It's very odd.
I was going to say, isn't the goalie for Bobrovsky was 72. It's an odd number.
That is true. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Wow. It is an odd number.
Maybe there's
a correlation there. Maybe he likes him. I don't know. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but maybe something there. But I think it's just you're so used to like the number 1 and number 31, 35, 30.
I already liked the kid, but then I watched his Hockey Canada video he did a couple months ago, and then he compared something to Cujo, and I think it was like his pad setup. And I'm like, okay, you just get bonus points. Just for saying that.
Exactly.
But then he ditched the Cujo pads.
I know, but his new ones are pretty cool too, though. They're really nice.
You need to go back to the Cujo pads.
Yeah.
Even Leanders had like some cool like bluish pads that sort of look like Cujo's as well, and he switched it.
I remember go back a couple of years, like just in terms of like goalie equipment. Joe Ranger had like a F1 mask, like a racing mask. It was really cool.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, pretty cool stuff. So just shout out to Joe Ranger there. But
Tyson Teichman had a cool Sons of Anarchy mask.
Goalie masks
that was a cool.
Are awesome.
They're awesome. Like he had one, and then he got traded to Kitchener, and then Kitchener's like, "Yeah, you can't wear that." So then he left. I think that's why I'm saying that's why he left the team. But then he left like the day before he was to return to Mississauga. It's kind of funny.
That's funny. Yeah. So yeah, they win to bring it all the way back. They win the school day game. It's awesome. The kids go crazy. It was sold out game. Awesome. Last one at the Paramount Fine Food Center for this year, and I guess never say never, but for now, I guess they're moving to Brampton. And then we move into Saturday night, and this is Steelheads versus Barrie Colts, of old school rivalry. It goes back years, playoff series. The Colts are not the greatest team this year. However, for some reason, they have the Steelheads number, or it seems that way, right?
Yeah.
And it did not start well. Okay, you go down 1-0 going into the second. Then the Colts score an early shorthanded goal on you to go up 2-0. It's looking tough. And I was like looking at the score, and I'm like, what is it about Barrie that like they do this against the Steelheads? Yeah. Especially this year. I don't know what it is.
Something there.
There is something there. It's interesting. Anyway, Mac Donnell gets on the board. And then the Colts go up 3-1, and then they have this amazing comeback in the third period. I don't know if you caught that. It's fantastic.
I did. I caught the overtime goal.
Yeah, it came all the way back, and Carmiers, he just literally, it was the funniest thing. If you watch the highlights, he's coming into the zone doing his thing, like the drop pass, and you can hear on the broadcast. Sorry, go ahead.
He just threw it on net.
He just threw it on net, but right before he shoots, you could hear on the broadcast, I guess if somebody on the bench is like, shoot it! And he shoots and it goes in. They're like, yeah. It's pretty funny. So, nice goal, too. Nice little rush. Dropped it back to him. He came in and put it right in there, and nice. It was nice.
Players should do that more in overtime. I don't think goalies really expect this shot from there.
No. Well, exactly. He shot it. I heard shoot, right? And then he shot it, and I was like, that went in? Like, I guess he wasn't expecting it, right?
Yeah, we need more of that.
Yeah. And the power play looked great as well. Chaz Sharp on the power play kind of seems better. Like, yeah, that's his thing. So power play looked a little bit better. That's another thing this week that they definitely have to focus on going into playoffs. Power play percentages. But yeah, I mean, they're spreading the scoring still. Martone's out of the lineup. Yeah. They're spreading the scoring, and a lot of the bigger guys, or not bigger guys, but a lot of the guys that you need to come up big are Carmiers, Zabeski, guys like that, right? Like Finn Harding chipped in for this goal to tie the game, right? It's good stuff. It's good stuff from the team. So
it's been very good. I just zoned out there for a second. Sorry. It's been very. I thought you were gonna continue on. No. Like, yeah. No, it's been very good. And like Mies has been doing well too, and everyone just like I said, everyone's contributing. Even the like I said, defense getting in. Van Bolsen's doing his thing, turning in like I said, the prime 2013 Leaf JVR. So yeah, no, these guys need it for everybody. Like I've said, you need that. You get in the playoffs, and then good things will happen to your team.
Spread the wealth, and I think they're doing that so far down the stretch here, which is nice. And they really just seem to be buying into like defensively, especially the last game we attended. Like just watching them in person, they just seem like they're kind of nobody's really cheating the systems or anything like that. It doesn't look like that. They're playing as a unit. They're sticking to what works, and they're just grinding down other teams. Like they might,
and they didn't give up.
Exactly, they don't. Sense. Yeah. Because against Barrie, like you're down and you come back.
Well, same thing with Ottawa. Because normally when they go down like by 2, they're just kind of like, that's it, call it a day. But no, they've been coming back. So gives me hope to see them in the playoffs.
Good pushback
if they do go down 2.
Yeah, it's a good pushback because if they ever go down in the playoffs, like you wouldn't lose faith. Let's say, right? Like you'd just be like, well, we've seen it before, and they don't really give up. And that's something I think JR. That's a JR thing. I know other teams obviously come back all the time and stuff, but from what I've seen, since JR took over coaching, his teams have that mentality. We could be down 5-1, but we're gonna get the second goal. We're gonna get that second goal. So
and they build.
It's great, yeah. And Leander started in this one, made 22 saves, and he did just enough to get them the win. And I think that's all you can really ask, right? He held the fort in the end.
I'm kind of surprised we talk about their struggles with Barrie. He's a very good goalie. Plus, that Barrie even has his number 2. It's not even just him. It's whoever in like doing that. They're like, all right, well, we're just taking it down.
Because Barrie was the Steelheads heavily outshot them in this game, 47-25, right? And it's just something about Barrie just capitalizes on their chances against the Steelheads. That's really what it is. What it comes down to, I've noticed this year, but. Heavily outchanced, but the Steelheads were finally able to break through there and tie the game and win it in overtime.
And a much needed win.
Much needed because, like we talked about, you absolutely need the 2 points against teams that are lower than you in the standings. You just have to win. You have to win. We'll move forward to the Ottawa game on Sunday. This one was kind of, I don't know, like I thought it was kind of hairy at the beginning. I was like, it's 1-1. I'm like, I don't know how this is going to go because Ottawa's a pretty good team fighting for playoff positioning, all that stuff. But then I felt like the Steelheads just took over, and I liked that from them.
Yeah, and I saw the shot totals and everything. They were on them on the shots.
Yep.
I saw the goals. The goals were nice, especially that one turnover I believe Zabeski got it.
Yep.
I don't know what that Ottawa player was doing going behind the net, and he coughed it up and gave him a goal there. So that was nice for them. And then when I saw at the end of the game it was 4-2. I was happy. It was much needed for them. Again, like we said, these are all needed. So you went in Ottawa, you took it. I just had the standings up here for a second.
So currently, I could read it out if you would like.
Ottawa's 2 points back at
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
If the Steelheads could win tomorrow, they will jump into fourth because
They do not have as many. Sorry, they have more losses than Sudbury.
yes. But also, I'm kind of thinking as well, if they do kind of go to first, you're playing Barrie in the first round. Do you really want
I know. I was thinking about that too. So finishing second wouldn't be half bad, That would
Yeah,
be all
like
right.
I said, I'd rather them finish in third or second, please.
Yeah, that would
So
work out a little bit better maybe. But
it would be because you don't want to play.
no, I just took that in. Actually, that's funny. They would end up playing Barrie in the first round, and Barrie's been a tough opponent for them. But yeah, playing Ottawa. Steelheads in fifth, Ottawa in sixth. Also, right now, as it stands, I know it's going to get all mixed up and it probably won't stay the way it is, but the Steelheads would be playing North Bay again in the first round. Tough matchup as well. But anyway.
Yeah, you don't want that.
No.
They've never beaten the Battalion in a playoff series.
They haven't.
Dating back to when they were Brantford.
Yep, it's been a long, tough journey. To get back to the Ottawa game, like you mentioned, Zabeski's goal where he turned it over and it was a nice finish in front. I don't know what that turnover was, but good on Zabeski for capitalizing on that. It was a nice little goal there. And, I mean, a goal that kind of pushed the game out of the hands of the 67s. It was manageable at that point. It was 2-1. He makes it 3-1, and the Steelheads kind of took control after that. Which
was
really
a backbreaker for them, I think.
Yeah, it just a confidence kind of breaker there. And Ivan Kovic, again, 33 saves. Ottawa outshoots the Steelheads, which is pretty rare. I feel like the Steelheads, majority of games in a season, they outshoot their opponents heavily. So
that they do.
That they definitely do. Sometimes it doesn't work out and they don't capitalize, but they definitely outshoot their opponents. But yeah, again, we talked about him at the start of the show. Ivan Kovic has been fantastic this year. And, Mason Zabeski with 2 goals in this game. Finn Harding has been playing really good. He's also turned it on the second half of the year. Last year, again, we talked about a rookie year. He's in the lineup, not really making a difference or anything, not a needle mover. But this year, he's jumping into, making plays. He's scoring goals now the second half of the year, and his defense has been pretty good too. Like
he's getting more comfortable.
Yeah, like his confidence just, especially the second half of the year, like I keep saying, his confidence. That's exactly what it is. He looks way more comfortable in his position, which is nice. So it was a very good week for the Steelheads here. It was very good.
Very good. So hopefully they can keep it up going into this week. So,
and like you said, that the race is tight. Like Oshawa really surprised me. I mean, they're 9-1 in their last 10. They're really they made a push for the conference here because
I think the Steelheads are. I just saw it there.
They're 8-1-1 in their last 10 as well. They're the hottest 2 teams in the Eastern Conference, and they play each other tomorrow night at the time we're recording this.
These are going to be big for them. So tomorrow is going to be interesting.
Time. Yeah, it's going to be.
Then they play Wednesday against Sarnia. Should be a win because Sarnia is out of the playoffs.
Out of the playoff picture, yep.
Should win against Niagara, they're out of the playoffs.
Yep.
Brantford, we'll see.
Will be a tough game.
It's in Brantford too, so GG's.
That does make a difference. Brantford is, whether it was Hamilton or Brantford, it's a tough rink to play in. I'll tell you that.
It is.
It is tough. So, but tomorrow I'm really looking forward to the Steelheads versus the Generals because, again, this is a little bit of a rivalry. It's maybe not Barrie or even North Bay and all the history there, but a little bit of a rivalry there. And the 2 hottest teams in the East by a lot right now. So that's going to be fun to watch. And there are huge playoff implications on this because if the Generals don't win, right, like let's say the Steelheads steal those 2 points, then the Generals are looking at 2 teams, 3 teams breathing down their neck still. Like
Mississauga could be in at least first or second by the end of Wednesday night.
Yeah, heading into the last week of the season, it is totally possible because of the opponents that the Steelheads play this week that they're in first place next week. So, and considering where they were, let's say 4 episodes ago, it was not looking that way. So they've really put in some good work here, man. They've been playing some great hockey. It's fun. I don't know. It's just fun to watch. And just looking at the stats here too, their PK underratedly is one of the best in the Eastern Conference as well. One of the best. Oshawa's is pretty good. North Bay's is pretty good. So that's something to look at too in potential playoff series.
Yeah, and I've noticed that about their PK. They usually do well on the power play kill.
Yeah.
They normally kill it. I find that they do give up a lot of shorthanded rushes.
Yes, they
That's
that they
one thing I
do.
have to work
Yeah.
on.
And they've fallen victim to that in like Barry, for example, too, right? Barry's got a couple shorthanded goals this year, I think, against the Steelheads. But I just think that could be a factor too if you look at different playoff matchups, because like that might lend well to playing maybe Sudbury or something like that over North
Yeah,
Bay or Oshawa, right? So although I don't think they end up playing Oshawa just because of the way the seeding is, but you never know. We'll see, right?
you never know.
You never know.
Never.
Could be Ottawa too that you end up playing. It's
That'd be a
gonna
fun
shape up.
matchup.
That would be a fun matchup. I'm low key like rooting for that one. Like very underratedly think that would be a great playoff matchup. I just don't know how it's gonna shake out because it's the 5-6 matchup right now, so it's not gonna happen. But
We have to see what they do.
should be fun. Should be fun. Should we get into the preview for next week? Or
We should.
I mean, we already kind of talked about the Oshawa game.
We did. We did Oshawa.
Yep.
Sarnia, you need to that'll be.
Yep.
Sarnia is not very good.
No, and well, before we move to Sarnia, I should mention too, it's March break, so tomorrow night might be a pretty fun game. I know that there should be a lot of kids in the building, obviously because it's March break, but I'm pretty sure there was like a winning night thing on the school day game, so a lot of kids might just transfer their tickets. You know, the winning nights thing the Steelheads does.
Yeah.
Or do.
I haven't really used my tickets for that, even though I've been giving some tickets. So yeah.
But yeah, so that should be fun. There should be some kids in the building to enjoy that. It's going to be a good game. That's a good game to watch. It's not going to be a blowout.
Very good game.
Yeah.
But hopefully it's not a blowout.
Well, hopefully not. It could actually be, but who knows? Hopefully it is for the right side. But yeah, then you go into Sarnia, like you mentioned. Sarnia, not a playoff team. Not a very good team. So
that should be a blowout.
That should be a blowout. That should be. I know we're laughing about it right now, but the way the Steelheads are playing, they should really do well here. I mean, just looking at Sarnia's stats against special teams, not good. Sarnia has won 8-1 in their last 10. This is a must-win, should I say?
Yeah, it is. It should be, because like I said, Sarnia is not good. They're already eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah.
So they've got nothing to play for.
The only thing they have to play for is spoiler, and I sometimes I think teams like that are dangerous.
That too, but it's so rare in the OHL.
I know. So, then the last matchup at home between the Ice Dogs and the Mississauga Steelheads at the Paramount Fine Food Center. It's the last time that the two, I guess, Mississauga franchises will meet in the building. So that'll be a fun game to watch too. And it should be a fun game because it should be another blowout for the Steelheads.
Should be, but Niagara gives them a hard time. So
yes,
we'll see how they like you just said, it's the last time the Ice Dogs will ever enter that building.
That's right. Yeah. So get your tickets now. Get your tickets now. It's not the last time they play this year, which I think is also interesting because Niagara's not a very good team. The Steelheads need these points if they want to finish the top 3, right? So I think that's important too. But we'll get to that next week. But yeah, like the next few weeks are going to be weird. Like this is something I wanted to talk about with you, Mark, because like I just mentioned, the Ice Dogs come into the Paramount Fine Food Center to play the Steelheads for the last time in that building. Like that's going to be a weird game. And even the last game of the season, the formerly Brampton Battalion, now North Bay Battalion, their last visit to the Paramount Fine Food Center, that old rivalry with the Mississauga franchise, right? That it's going to be a weird kind of, I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a weird feeling.
Full circle moment.
Yeah, it's going to be weird. I feel like, I don't know.
The kid in me is sad, but the adult is happy.
Now, why for both? Shall I ask?
Well, happy because season's coming to an end, playoffs are right around the corner.
Yes.
And then kid in me is just sad because everything is just going to be a memory by the end of it.
It's true.
And
it's going to go by pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's going to just be, no more seeing these teams come in there and seeing games. I've seen brawls with these teams when they were Brampton, and then when Niagara first came back to the Hershey Center, that was a slaughtering, and there's another brawl there. And
wasn't there like a 10-0 or 10-1 game in there?
It was a 10-2 game.
Yeah.
Chris Carosi got hurt, and the Majors had to put in a 16-year-old call up. That kid got lit up. Never saw him again. So it's on YouTube actually.
It is on YouTube. I think I was either at that game. There was two. I think I was at both of them. There was that game, and then there was one where they beat the Ice Dogs.
Yeah, 10-2.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. That was during the Mem Cup year.
That was that was a good memory.
Full circle moment.
Yeah. So fun games, fun times. So that's gonna be a weird feeling. Those games. So and the first one is this Friday coming up. So it's gonna be fun.
Exactly. So see what happens.
We will see what happens.
Maybe it'll end the way it started, 10-2 Niagara leaving.
Let's hope it ends in a Steelheads win, no matter.
But
what that looks
not.
Like.
Hopefully not. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know. So hey, we're the first time you guys come in here. Yeah, we won 10-2. The last time we're coming here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully not.
No, but yeah, it'll be a fun matchup, and hopefully the Steelheads come away with 2 points. They should. 2 must-win games. Well, 3. I guess every game is must-win at this point, right? I hate saying it and using that term, but
I think they go 5-1.
There are. Yeah, I think definitely that's on the table. The way they're playing, like we mentioned, there's teams ahead of them in the standings, but they're the second hottest team in the East, right?
Yeah.
Like they're playing amazing. Like I didn't even look at the West. I could for a second, but I mean, yeah.
Actually, it's funny. I looked at it today. The West, you can't compare the two.
No, the West is. Oh my God, the West. The top 4 teams are crazy.
You can't compare. So we know who's winning the championship this year from which conference.
But the
West.
It's going to be. There's a fight for first, and.
Eastern Cowan's killing the
West, second and third rounds are going to be crazy. So that's going to be some good.
Good luck to whoever wins the East, guys. Yeah. You're either playing the London Knights or Saginaw.
Yeah.
So
good luck.
Let's see what happens.
Oh man, but yeah, the focus is on the East. Who will finish first? Who will finish anywhere? To be honest, it's going to be crazy. Who will finish?
Well, next week's episode will be an NSL playoff. No, not even a playoff preview yet. I was going to say I thought it was. No,
yeah, we won't be able to do a playoff preview until the final game is done because there's no way these standings are going to be final until the last game.
You never know. We'll have to see, right?
Yeah, we'll have to keep tabs on it, but until then, I guess. Until then.
Exactly. It'll be a fun finish. Go 5-1, guys. Heck, make it better. Go 6-0.
Go 6-0. Yeah, gotta hope for that. But 2 games this week, you absolutely have to pick up 2 points in. So that'll be fun.
They should either get 5 points out of this or 4.
Yeah, and we'll see how it shakes up, but very exciting game against Oshawa coming up. I'm looking forward to that. So until then, I guess we'll see you next week. But Mark, anything to add?
Oh no, nothing really. Should be out some Steelheads articles this week, not next week. But I'm gonna cook up some stuff, see what I can get on now. See which player we can look out for. So,
nice. And as always, the links to your latest article will be in the description, so check those out. Good reads, and if you want to get more in depth with certain players, I know we talk about certain players like we did today, Zabeski and guys like that, and Van Volsen, but stay up to date with Mark's articles on who's doing what at that time, because it's a long season and playoffs are coming, and some guys perform and some guys don't at certain times, and then it flips, right? So playoffs, I always love that because the depth players come to play, and it's going to be exciting.
Exactly. So we'll see who'll be a hero this year.
Yeah. But until next week, this has been Steelheads Weekly, and we'll see you guys next week.
See ya.
For more content, visit our YouTube channel and check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Don't forget to follow the guys on social media at Matt_Mondays, at Nick LaFlame, and at Darius Dominguez.